out. I don't want to do a 10-week course when I can do one day and you walk away with a plan to fight your fear. Because that's important to me. Right, Sharon, is so important. Oh, Miyama, Karina. Hi, Karina. What's hola? I don't know if that's right. I don't speak but two languages, English and Ebonics. Anybody got any questions? Now, y'all got to have something to ask, Coach. Come on now. The masterclass is only $199 for non-clients and $99 for clients. So grab your seat. It's going to be amazing. And I'm actually turning it into a 10-session work package. So it's going to be a workbook / book / videos that people can buy anytime to be able to work through their fear. So this is the first level of that. And I'm creating more of those hands-on products. So if you come to me and say, hey, Coach, I got this issue with fear, I can say, look, no, Tanya, you don't have to thank me. Here's the thing. You took it up on yourself and you did the work. And you were committed. You were committed. Forget the critics. And that's what a lot of us don't do. We so busy. I've never understood why people listen to people in the same situation as them. You taking advice from somebody that don't make money in their business. You taking advice from somebody with bad credit. You taking relationship advice from a single person. Where they man at? If I'm taking relationship advice from you, you better have a fine man and you better be happy and y'all better been together for a long time. True story. If I'm taking health advice from you, you better be super fine, in shape, and you better just be, you got to be good at what you do. Stop taking advice. I heard somebody say, oh, I'm going to take an email class from somebody. I said, are you on their email list? Because, girl, they don't send about 4 emails a year. So how you setting up email funnels or taking an email funnel class from somebody that doesn't have email funnels? How you taking a class on how to leave your job from somebody that's still working full time? How you taking a class from somebody on how to make money that's losing money in their business? And I just don't get it. Just don't get it. Questions? This is your first time here. Welcome, welcome. I'm normally not here that late at night, but I've been trying to do better because I've been trying to get in front of different people. I'm hungry. I want to get in front of the people, and I prayed to God for this at the beginning of the year. Good morning, Passion. I said, God, send me the people that's hungry. Send me the people that want a high 6, 7-figure earnings, don't mind doing the work, don't mind putting the time in, and are not going to be too afraid to, push the go button. Hey, Keisha. And, when you ask God for something, right? When you believe in God for something, you got to say to yourself, what do I need to do to help make it happen, right? He said that. He said faith without works is dead. So I said, I'm finna hit these 25 cities. Ooh, Keisha, I need me a little makeup artist to hit the road with me. Like I told you, CJ, I'm doing something different. You can't do the same thing that you've done before and expect different results. All right, Keisha, love you, sis. Yeah, I'm hitting the road to go to Dallas. I'll be in Dallas tomorrow doing a special presentation for International Women's Day. You get your tickets for $9 live stream. It's called Her Story. Her Story. And it's the story of women and money and what we need to do to earn more, save more, and invest more. And that's what you guys asked me for. I went out on Facebook and I was like, hey, guys, what do y'all want me to do my presentation of? What's LA? I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas. Oh, thank you, CJA. I didn't even know you were in the UK, boo. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to make my way over, but Donald Trump got to get out of office first because he don't be letting people back in the country. He might be talking about I'm an illegal alien and I can't come back in. You never know, girl. You never know. So I'm going to wait till he get out of office to do my traveling. But yeah, you know, I just wanted, and like I said, if you're in UCU, I'm gonna make a special video for you guys for some actions to take. You know, CJ, I don't remember you telling me that because, you know, I don't forget much. When you told me that. Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, Classy Brown Beauty, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. She said, you hilarious. You know, that's part of loving what you do, too. Oh, the link for the virtual ticket is bit.ly/Dallas Millions. Tell her, Lori, I don't forget much. I don't. But I'm going to tell you what would help me if you put a real picture on there. That would help me remember. Yep, and it's $9 because we're going to be talking about what women really need to do to not only regain their buying power, but also regain their ownership of land and finances and everything in between. Oh, thank you, Marissa. Marissa said, you are hilarious and full of personality. That's why we love you. Thank you for coming to my event the other day, Marissa. I meant to tell you that. I know Baytown, girl. That's like going to another country. I don't think I'm smarter than anybody else. Let me tell you what I tell you guys. Hey, Terry. What I tell you guys is I'm a combination of knowledge and action, which is wisdom. And so I read a lot of books. And then I don't just read them. I take what I read and I try it. And to me, as a result of that, I'm able to give you guys not just what I think works in theory, but what really, really works. And to me, that's what makes me a great business coach. And I care about people's success. Like, really, really care. Yeah, I want to make my money, but at the end of the day, I want you to make your money too. You know, I work hard on that knowledge thing, Lori. I do. I really do. But I think that's what makes you competitive. It's a lot of coaches out there. So what makes you the best coach? And with me, it's going to be standing. Look, I can show you. Look, let me show you. This is my desk. Book number 1. Book number 2. Book number 3. Book number 4. Book number 5. Book number 6. And that's just this week. If you ask me next week, Coach, show me the books on your desk, I'm going to show you a whole different 6 books. Even my housekeeper know. You do, Lori, and I'm going to help y'all with that. Just let me know what I need to do to help. Even my housekeeper know. Leave these books alone, and when I throw them on the floor somewhere, you can rotate them out. You know, here's the thing. One of the things I did, and we earned our first $1 million last year in revenue. And one of the things that we did, one of the things I did to earn that first $1 million is for years I did nothing but study books by and from millionaires. I said that earlier. Hang with winners. You want to win? Hang with winners. You can't hang with winners? Read books by winners. It's a whole lot of books get written every year. Are you reading the books by the people that's actually making the money? Or are you reading the books by the people that's making money off the books? Hold on. I'm going to repeat that. Anthony Robbins, he's actually crushed it. Gary Vaynerchuk, he's metaphorically and literally crushed it. And that was the name of his first book. Now's the time to crush it. Are you reading books by the people who've done it? Or are you reading books with cute names and the only money they've ever made in business comes off the book you bought from them? And there's a difference. Hang with winners. And in the absence of being able to hang with winners, I tell you, when people tell me they can't afford coaching, I get that because money's not everybody's friend. But what are you doing to change that situation? So if you read a book a week for a year, In a year, you'll be able to afford coaching and then some. It's a true story. And that's what I did. Yesterday, quote unquote, yesterday, the 7th, was my 7th anniversary of starting a business. That's when I started to write my very first book. March 7th, 2011. Took me 7 years. So, Kim, I'm not your investment person, but I do have resources to help you with investments, and especially real estate. We do dabble in the stock market, and I'm sending out something to my email list this week about that. But with women, more than anything, we need to learn our worth and learn how to earn. And that's going to solve like 80% of our problems. So I'm going to tell you, when I started that journey, the coaching company that got me started at the time, they coached me in corporate America. And they said, if you want to be an expert, read a book a week on any one subject. And if you want to be an international expert, read a book a week for 3 years on any one subject. So let me tell you what our problem is. Number one, most of us won't narrow down a subject. And I narrowed my subject down to money, all things money. The mindset of money, sales, people and money, the art of persuasion, online money, digital marketing, everything that I social media and money, everything that I do, therefore, is to help you generate more revenue. And once you generate more revenue, you solve quite a few of your problems. Even the Bible said money answereth all things. What does the Bible say about money? Because that used to be my thing. Exactly. Organic brown sugar. You become an industry expert, and nobody can argue with your knowledge. People can argue with your looks. They can argue with how your website looks. But at the end of the day, no one can argue with your knowledge. And no one can take it away. Oh, thank you, sis. She said she just told a testimony about me when her daughter passed. And she was on the way. Yep. I remember, sis, like yesterday, because you told me that on the phone. She was on the way to her daughter's school, and they didn't yet know what had happened. But that broadcast that morning, I was talking about being prepared. Being financially prepared for these cards that life is going to shuffle us. And, you know, it's nothing worse than a loss of any family member. But what makes it even worse is when you're not financially prepared to deal with the fallout. Does that make sense? So it doesn't resolve the problem because you still have the loss. But you don't have to couple that loss with, now how do I figure out how to bury my loved one, or how do I figure out how to get the medicine they need, or how do I figure out how to pay the bills? How do I figure out how to pay my light bill and my water bill? How do I make all of this work? And for a lot of us, it would give us at least some level of peace to be able to not have to worry about that part. And so, yep, that's what my broadcast was about. And I'm very passionate about women changing the way they operate with money. And I lead by example. Oh, thank you. Don't make me cry, sis. Don't do it, sis. I'll be in Philly, too, in April. So I'll be in Philly, Maryland, Jersey, D.C. So make sure you come see me somewhere. You know, and so I do believe, sis, that God does align us with the people that we need to take us to the next level. But we've got to say yes. Does anybody agree with that? It goes back to that free will. So a lot of times we'll be praying, hey, God, expand my territory. Hey, God, send me some help. Hey, God, I'm tired of living this way. And then when he sends us somebody, We say, oh, I can't afford that. And a lot of people, when they get me on the phone, they're surprised that they can afford to work with me. And a lot of times people don't even ask because they count themselves out. And they get on the phone and they say, that's it, coach. And I say, that's it. I got programs for as inexpensive as $59 a week for a year commitment. And you get a class a quarter, 10-week class. It's like college. People say, that's it, coach. Yeah, that's it. And they're like, wow, I shied away from you for all these years because I said I couldn't afford it. You put your own destiny on hold. See, that's what people have to understand as a business owner and as a business grower, because what I do does contribute to your business growth. It's tax deductible. So when you say, no, I can't afford it, you're saying you can't budget enough. You can't budget your money well enough to afford coaching now, knowing that you're going to get it back on your taxes. And I read an article, and especially it was an article about, there's two. One about women's buying power and one about African American buying power. And because I serve a predominantly women and predominantly African American community, I can't believe people can't afford $59 a week. But again, that's that mindset. Because we buying everything else and doing everything else with our money. But that's not hungry. Because hungry is, I'm going to cut my cable off and I'm going to spend a year listening to this woman and her videos. That's going to be my TV. And at the end of this year, I'm going to see where I'm at. Hey, Judge, that's hungry. And I've done it. Or I'm going to spend a year catering at least one event a week so I can have my money for this class. That's hungry. That's hungry. Or I'm going to spend a year making gift baskets, or I'm going to spend a year making this, or I'm going to spend a year making that. Am I going to try what, Chris? Hey, Lisa Ricardo, I miss you, sis. So that's hungry. And then a lot of people think, oh, coaching is a one-time event, but it's not. You should be in relentless pursuit of the knowledge to take you to the next level. And that's one of the reasons I study so hard, is because whatever you learned from me 2 years ago, oh, I don't watch TV anyway, baby. I don't, but I've done it. Whatever you learned from me 2 years ago, I've evolved light years beyond that, because it takes that to keep my business running. Don't ever hook up with a doctor that ain't been back to school in the last year, because the medical field changes so fast. He over there cutting on you, girl, and could be using laser. Do y'all hear me? Don't ever hook up with a doctor that don't stay in front of their craft. Don't hook up with anybody that doesn't stay in front of their craft. Because they over there cutting on you, not realizing it's a new treatment. And you ain't even got to have surgery. So, that's my responsibility as a coach. It's also your responsibility for whatever you do in business. You got to stay in front of your craft so that your clients can continue to come to you and be serviced by you. It's a true story. So that's why I read. That's why I study. That's why I go to so many conferences. But that's also why I create so many products and services, so that I can meet people at where they are. True story. Y'all got any questions? I'm finna get out of here. Going to Dallas tomorrow. Super excited. Guys, if you could invite your friends. International Women's Day tomorrow. I'm going to bring down the house. It's going to be an amazing presentation. Go to bit.ly/Dallas Millions. It's only $9. Why? Because I had to strike a balance. I had to strike a balance between, I want you to come and pay attention. So that means you got to sow some type of seed. But I want you to have the information. What's that CJA CPD? So does that make sense? bit.ly/Dallas Millions. Invite your friends. The name of the presentation is Her Story. Not history. Not his story, but her story. And we're going to be talking about what women can do to be able to shift their mindsets so they can earn more, invest more, and save more. It's critical. Right. Career professional development. Exactly. So what we have to realize is that this journey, and even as women, we've not always been able to hold land. We've not always been able to hold revenue. So all of this is new to us. We've not always been able to work. So as women, it's new to us too in terms of generations. We not that many generations to the polls, whether we're women or African Americans. So all of this is new to us. So we've got to learn to pull our power and utilize our power. But more importantly, we got to learn that failure to charge your worth right now. And there's not a week that goes by that I don't talk to some woman that says, Coach, I'm in the homeless shelter. What do I do? Coach, I'm about to lose my house. What do I do? Coach, I'm sleeping in my car. What do I do? These are not lazy women. See, that would be the first thing I used to think. Man, you did this. You brought this on. You say, if you keep living, you're going to find that sometimes circumstances just get outside of your control. Sometimes things happen in your life that are not your fault. Some of it may be your fault, but some of it's not. But you don't know what you don't know. And your inability or unwillingness to learn how to earn money with your two hands puts you in a predicament that you're relying upon a job, or you're relying upon a husband, or you're relying upon something outside of your control. And so the one thing that I think that all women should not only know, hey, Amber, I know, girl, we're getting ready to go to Dallas, and I had this word that was on my heart. So one thing that I think that all women should not only know, but my kids are helping me work on a book called Kitty Cash. And Kitty Cash is for young entrepreneurs. It's going to take them about through 25 jobs that they can do step by step to earn money. And I have plans to donate 500 copies to start to the Boys and Girls Club of America, because I think that that is a skill that, when taught, will help alleviate some of the drug dealers in the world, will help alleviate some of the prostitutes in the world. The women say they sell their body because they ain't got something else, nothing else to sell. It'll alleviate some of the strippers in the world. Girl, you can make just as much money with a sandwich stand as you can getting on that stage. So my goal is to donate 500 copies initially to the Boys and Girls Club, and then more every single year, because the reason children sell drugs and the reason that people strip and do things that we may look down on is because nobody's ever taught them to do anything else. And nobody's ever taught them that it takes the same math skills to be a drug dealer as it does to be an engineer. Did anybody catch that? Look at your neighbor and say, wow, it takes the same math skills, discernment, reasonable deduction. It takes the same skills to be a drug dealer as it takes to be an engineer. But nobody ever told you could be an engineer. It's the same skills, the same diligence, because guess what? Only way you get paid as a drug dealer is you got to be out on that corner all day, every day. So you're already working 10, 12 hours, especially on the weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 5 days a week. 5 days a week you out there from the time people start getting paid 3 o'clock to 3 and 4 in the morning. That's 12 hours a day. So if I could show you how to put 12 hours a day, 5 days a week into a legitimate business, how many people would rather do that than running from the police, getting put in jail? And then that's another thing. That's another thing. We've got to teach our children that being an entrepreneur is an option. And that's the one thing that I know for a fact my children know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that they can be an entrepreneur. They don't have to be drug dealers. They don't have to be pimps or prostitutes. They don't have to work a job. They can take all of their creative ideas and creative energy and generate as much revenue for themselves as they want. And to me, like I told you guys earlier, that's the legacy that I leave. Legacy to me is more than just how much money I left you in the bank. Because if I don't leave you a good understanding about that money won't last long. Why do you think lottery winners, they money don't last long? NFL football players, NBA basketball players. I love that A-Rod is doing that new show to go in and help the basketball players and baseball players and football players that just didn't know what to do with the money. And so they ran through it. That's legacy. You know, if you don't teach your kids that money comes and goes, but as long as you know how to use your right hand and your left hand, you can go make some more. And that's why people like Donald Trump been bankrupt so many times. Girl, that man don't care. Because he's got the skills to go out and make more money. We lose a job and we lose our mind. We gotta have a backup plan for these jobs because they're not loyal. So, you know, when you are in relentless pursuit of your purpose, it changes the world in so many ways. There are so many books you guys should be writing, so much advice you should be giving, so many people you should be helping, but you can't get beyond your own fear. And until you get beyond your own fear, not only are you stuck, but the people you're supposed to be serving, they're stuck too. And that's my biggest regret. My biggest regret is that it took me so long to see my greatness and to see what God put inside of me to serve the world. That's my biggest regret. If I could do anything all over again, it would be to go early and to not just give up and to really just look high and low for my purpose and, you know, to spend my time wisely and not read so many thrillers and Stephen King books and Dean Koontz, but to read, you know, Napoleon Hill and Dale Carnegie and Zig Ziglar. I didn't know anything about that, though. I had to find that in corporate America. So corporate America started me reading John Maxwell and Brian Tracy. And my very first job, everything happens for a reason. My very first job in Houston, I worked for a computer department store called Micro Center. First, I was the inventory control specialist, and then I was the store office manager over the cashiers and all the cash that came in. But they required that every single quarter you do 8 hours of computer training and 8 hours of personal development. And that's when I fell in love with Malcolm Gladwell. Oh, they was off the chain, baby. They made a lot of money. And their customer service was unparalleled. They had customer service like Chick-fil-A. So that's where I fell in love with Brian Tracy. And I haven't. My mom does, Christina. That's when I first heard about the story of the hammer, Sam Walton. Habitat for Humanity. That's when I first heard about time management. That's when I first read Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's how I met Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and all of the greats that are still out there. What every supervisor should know. That's where I really learned to be a great leader and to put people first. And so that's where it started. That's where it started. And so if you look back at your history, what you're going to see is that God has given you so much to prepare you for now that for you not to use it, it's almost sacrilege. We'll scare ourselves and say, you know, I'm not ready. I don't know enough. Art of War, yes. The Art of War, Sun Tzu. I'm going to tell y'all a story from the Art of War in a minute. And 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. My absolute favorites too. But Robert Greene has a book, sis, called Mastery. And I think every entrepreneur should read Mastery because mastery teaches you to be patient. And it tells you the story of all the greats and how even like Charles Darwin, he had to have a mentor, somebody that took him to the ranks. And it took him time to become great. He had to go do his work. He had to go to the Galapagos, spend his time, catalog those animals and all those indigenous species. But that's how he became great. 48 Laws of Power is all about strategy. It's all about being strategic in a world when you're not taught to be strategic. And the Art of War is too. One of the stories, and I'll tell you this only because I love this book so much. I'll tell y'all this and I'll let y'all go. I can finish my work and go to bed. One of the stories in the Art of War is that they were fighting another faction and he knew they outnumbered. He knew the people outnumbered him, right? Hey, Cheryl, how's that grandbaby doing? And back then, you used to count the soldiers on the other people's side by counting their campfires. Because every soldier had their own campfire. So he said, this is what I'm going to do. And he told his people, every night we're going to reduce our campfires by half. So the first night, it may have looked like 500 of them out there. But of course, the other people had 10,000. So he said, half the campfires gone. Looked like 250. Next night, half the campfires gone. Looked like 125. So the people that had 10,000 was like, oh, look at them. They army is getting afraid and leaving. So we don't even need that many people to beat them. They start sending soldiers back. Sending soldiers back. And by the time they realized that these people wasn't really gone, they was still over there, it was too late. So that's one of the reasons I'm so strategic, is because I know that strategy can win any game, even before brute strength. Brute strength and speed is nothing against strategy. So yeah, Mastery by Robert Greene. Tell me, Lisa, when you read it, that book is everything. But again, as an entrepreneur, it teaches you to go sit down somewhere. True story. But guys, if you're in UCU, I'm going to record a separate video for you because I have some homework for you after you watch this video. Guys, I love you. I'll see you in the morning. And I'll see you from, oh, you're welcome, Nikki. I'll see you guys from Dallas. Don't forget, tickets are only $9, bit.ly/Dallas Millions. Grab your ticket, and I'll see you tomorrow night for International Women's Day. Coming live from Dallas. I'm a